Tale of the Sun and Moon by Megan Sly. Episode 10, Walls and Secrets, Part 1. 34 AG, Earth Kingdom. Racing through a small forest, Hakan rides on the back of a Komodo rhino, with Faye sitting behind him. Several more Komodo rhinos, carrying Lieutenant Chang and countless other Fire Nation soldiers, move behind Hakan and Faye.
Captain, if we don't reach them before they make it to Ba Sing Se...
If they do, we won't stop. Our task is to bring in or bring down the lightning shadow. I plan on seeing this mission through to the end, no matter what it takes.
Yes, sir.
In a different part of the vast Earth Kingdom lands, Taki, Raiden, and Leanna ride on Isla's back as she races across the dirt and rocks. Michi is curled up on Leanna's lap.
So what's your father like, Taki?
His name is Tayo, but I don't actually know much else about him. I've never met him. He was banished from the Northern Water Tribe before I was born.
Why was he banished?
Well, he's actually a firebender. He used to be a soldier in the Fire Nation army until he became a prisoner of war. That's when he met my mother, Princess Yuzuki of the Northern Water Tribe.
A Fire Nation soldier and the Water Tribe princess.
According to my uncle, they were truly in love, but were torn apart because of their nations. The only part of them I have is this necklace. My father made it for my mother when he proposed to her.
Tilting her head slightly, Leanna studies the carved black stone tied around Taki's neck.
It's broken.
My father has the other half.
He sounds like a nice man, but I've always thought of everyone from the Fire Nation as, well, bad.
No, not everyone.
Taki glances back at Raiden, who stares out at the open terrain.
Obviously, Raiden seems okay enough, but definitely not his twin brother.
Oh, so you know about Hakan now?
Raiden figured I ought to know since we're all traveling together and since Hakan is hunting us alone.
Makes sense.
Turning her head back to see Raiden's reaction, Taki finds him still staring off into the distance ahead.
The outer wall of Ba Sing Se.
Taki and Leanna face forward to see the massive stone wall of Ba Sing Se in the distance.
I can't wait. I've always wanted to visit the Earth Kingdom capital. I've heard it's stunning to behold.
Taki looks down and realizes Isla is exhausted from the long journey of carrying 3 people.
Why don't we walk the rest of the way and let Isla rest?
All of them dismount from Isla and begin their walking trek to the great city before them. Michi dashes in and around all their feet. As they grow closer to the towering stone wall, Taki glances down deep in thought.
My father could be behind this wall.
There's only one way to find out.
True.
Now at the city wall, the 3 of them with their animal companions approach the 8 Earth Kingdom guards standing in front of the outer wall. One of the guards, the Earth Kingdom corporal, steps forward with a suspicious gaze.
What business do you 3 have in Ba Sing Se?
We're here to look for my father. He was a blacksmith in Ba Sing Se years ago.
Are you Earth Kingdom citizens?
No, I'm from the Northern Water Tribe, but Leanna here is of the Earth Kingdom.
The corporal glances over at Leanna with a smug look, and then his eyes drift over to Raiden.
And him?
Raiden is...
Narrowing his gaze, the corporal moves closer to Raiden.
You seem familiar. Have you been to Ba Sing Se before?
Yes.
And what nation do you serve?
Look, we mean no harm to the Earth Kingdom, and are most definitely not allies with the Fire Nation.
And how do we know that?
Oh no.
What is it, Leanna?
Look,
Leanna points, and everyone turns to see countless Komodo rhinos standing at the edge of a wide forest in the distance. Several Fire Nation soldiers stand near and sit atop the rhinos. Khan and Faye are in the front and center of the line.
They have reached the wall. We are too late.
No, we're not. Can you get a clear shot on the target? This distance should be no trouble for a Yuyan archer such as yourself.
Yes, I can make the shot, but...
Then do it. Take him out.
But should we not try to capture him alive first, Captain?
Hakan says nothing and keeps staring forward intently. Exhaling, Faye draws her bow and loads an arrow into it. She carefully aims. Back at the wall, Raiden takes a step forward and narrows his eyes at the Fire Nation lineup.
Everybody back away from me.
What? Why?
Just stay back, Fire Nation rabble. They wouldn't dare attack Ba Sing Se, not with so few soldiers.
Raiden, what is...
Just then, Faye releases her arrow and it soars straight for Raiden. He manages to lean partially out of the way. The arrow only cuts him slightly on the arm.
Raiden!
I'm fine.
Be on your guard, men.
No, not the Fire Nation again.
Staggering away from the group, Leanna grabs her head as the earth begins to tremble.
Leanna, it's okay.
What's wrong with her? Is she causing the earthquake?
Her earthbending is just slightly out of control sometimes. Please, can't you let us into the city for protection?
I'm sorry, but we cannot open the wall with Fire Nation troops so close. We must stand our ground and defend the wall at all costs.
Back over to the Fire Nation troops, Hakan glares back at Faye.
You missed. How could... You never miss!
I didn't miss, sir. It is preferable to bring the target in alive, is it not?
Exhaling quickly, Hakan faces forward and addresses his troops.
Prepare to attack, soldiers. Remember, our objective is not to conquer Ba Sing Se. Rather, it's to capture the lightning shadow by whatever means necessary.
You heard the captain, soldiers. Don't hold anything back.
Charge!
Instantly, all of the Komodo rhinos and Fire Nation soldiers bolt forward towards the Great Wall. At the base of it, the earthbender guards fan out in the formation.
Brace for battle, men.
Leanna falls to her knees as the earthquake intensifies.
Raiden, what do we do?
We fight. This is war, after all.
Focusing his eyes and gripping his staff, Raiden pulls up his face mask to cover his nose and mouth. Swallowing, Taki faces the battlefield and draws some water from her pouches. Even Isla braces for battle. As the Komodo rhinos race towards them, the earthbenders bend large rocks upwards into their paths. Most of them run off course or crash in the dirt. The other Fire Nation troops instantly engage with the earthbenders in an intense battle. Hakan and Faye's rhino also runs off kilter because of the sudden earth attacks, so both of them leap off of it. Making eye contact with Raiden, Hakan charges straight for him with flaming hands.
You're mine now!
As the brothers battle one another, Faye and Taki stare back at one another for a brief moment. Slowly, Faye grabs an arrow from her quiver and aims it at Taki. Wide-eyed, Taki blocks the arrow with a small ice shield. Swiftly, Faye dashes towards Taki while swinging her bow. Using water whips, Taki counters each of Faye's bow swipes. With the violent battle raging around her, tears stream down Leanna's face.
No, not again. No more fighting!
Leanna's earthquake increases in magnitude tenfold, causing everyone on the battlefield to stumble in a different direction and collapse to the ground. Then various cracks and chasms break across the earth plane. Taki finds herself slipping into one of the open chasms. As she tries to pull herself up, several firebenders regroup and notice that she is all that stands between them and Bright. Lieutenant Chang stands upright and commands the others.
Come on, soldiers, let's get to our target.
All of the grouped soldiers firebend together to create a massive wall of fire surging straight for Taki, who's barely hanging on to the cracked ledge of the earth. Wide-eyed, Taki desperately tries to grab hold of some rocks to pull herself out of the cracked earth. A large chasm separates Taki from Raiden, so he is unable to help her. Just as the flaming wall reaches her, Hakan suddenly jumps in front of Taki and deflects the fire from hitting. As the firewall dissipates, all becomes still and quiet. The earthquake ceases. Everyone stares wide-eyed and slack-jawed at Hakan, who is still crouched over Taki.
Hakan?
Taki blinks up in confusion at Hakan, who swallows hard and stares down at her with a stunned expression.
Did the captain just save her? The enemy?
Using the firebender's brief moments of shock to their advantage, the Earth Kingdom's guards quickly unleash a powerful display of earthbending to drive back the Fire Nation soldiers. Faye rushes over to Hakan and pulls him up.
Captain, we must go. Now!
Still too shell-shocked to move or speak, Hakan continues staring down at Taki with quickened breaths. Faye begins pulling him away.
Please, sir, we need to leave.
Finally brought back to his senses, Hakan turns and retreats with Faye and the rest of their troops. All of the Fire Nation soldiers and rhinos sprint across the plain and disappear into the forested trees. By now, Raiden has made his way over to Taki and helps her out of the earth crevice.
Thanks, Raiden.
With a small nod to Taki, Raiden pulls down his face mask. A moment later, Isla saunters over to them and nudges Taki's arm, causing her to rub Isla's neck. As the earthbenders regroup, Leanna slowly stands and walks over to Raiden, Taki, and Isla. Michi prances beside her and rubs against her leg.
Are you okay, Leanna?
I should be asking you that. I almost killed everyone here.
But you didn't. We're all okay. Your earthquaking is understandable. I know how terrifying this war and the Fire Nation are to you.
Taki pulls Leanna into a hug.
Just remember you're not alone. Not anymore.
Thanks, Taki.
The two of them pull apart as the Earth Kingdom guards approach them.
Well, it's clear now that none of you are allied with the Fire Nation. We will allow you into the city. I'm sure you all could use some rest after the battle.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Taki and Leanna bow respectively as all of the earthbenders work together to bend over the towering stone wall. Once the wall is open enough to walk through, the corporal gestures for one of his guards to approach them.
I'll have my soldier here escort you into the city.
Taki nods at the Earth Kingdom soldier, who leads their group through the opening of the massive wall. Somewhat in awe, they continue on walking through a wide open, grassy field, extending between the towering inner and outer walls of Boss and Say. As they go, Leanna moves closer to Taki.
I can't believe that the Fire Nation captain, Ryden's brother, saved your life back there.
It's the second time he's risked his life to save mine.
Maybe he's got a crush on you.
Feeling her face grow warm, Taki quickly glances down.
Either way, there's more to Hakan than meets the eye.
Sounds like someone else we know.
Looking up, Taki gazes over at Ryden, a fair distance ahead of them. 34 AG, Earth Kingdom. Back in the small forest across the plain from Ba Sing Se, Hakan, Faye, and the other Fire Nation soldiers gather with their remaining Komodo rhinos. All of them breathe heavily from the haste and retreat. Chang stands upright and takes a step towards the center of the group.
Hakan, I believe you owe all of us an explanation as to why you saved the life of that water tribe girl.
Everyone turns and stares over at Hakan, waiting for an answer. Out of breath, he glances between all of them.
Well, it's just a...
It seems that the Fire Nation's needs are no longer your top priority, Hakan.
That's captain to you, Lieutenant Chang.
Not anymore. As an officer in the Fire Nation Army, it is my duty to remove you of your position, as you are no longer fit to lead this battalion.
That's outrageous. I merely saved one girl. She means nothing to me.
Then why did you protect her?
Speechless, Hakan stares back at Chang with wide eyes. Then he looks down, desperately trying to make sense of his actions.
She is an enemy of the Fire Nation, and an ally of the Lightning Shadow. He is our prime target and a great threat to the Fire Nation Empire. You disregarded our mission, dishonored our nation, all for the life of an insignificant waterbender.
But the girl may be used as leverage against the Lightning Shadow, if she's kept alive.
Of course you would defend Faye. You've always been more loyal to Hakan than our nation.
Averting her eyes, Faye looks down.
Using the girl as leverage was completely irrelevant at the time of the fight, since our target was right there on the battlefield. We simply needed to get past the girl and take down the Lightning Shadow.
We can still do that. I'm more than ready and able to lead this mission.
As I've already explained, you are clearly not the captain you once were. Your focus has faltered and your allegiance is questionable. You are to be detained and taken in for further questioning.
You would dare attack and imprison a Fire Nation captain and the son of a high general.
Do not think for one moment that your mother's position will stop this. Despite her finding a way to make a teenager like you captain of a battalion, General Kaida's influence in the military is limited. You, Hakan, have made yourself a rogue of the Fire Nation. Now will you submit yourself willingly to containment and interrogation?
Hakan glances over at Faye, who stares back at him with furrowed brows and wide eyes. He turns back to Chang with tightened fists.
No, Lieutenant. I will not. I remain loyal to the Fire Nation, but I cannot stand for this insolence and insubordination.
Then you have sealed your fate, traitor. Soldiers, apprehend Hakan at once.
With quick glances to each other, all of the Fire Nation soldiers move in and shoot fire blasts towards Hakan, who counters by unleashing a flaming spin attack. Once Hakan's fire disappears, two of the firebenders charge at him with fists of flame. Hakan confronts them and quickly overpowers them. Rushing forward, Chang shoots a fireball towards Hakan, who swiftly ducks out of the way. He counters with a wide fire kick, which sends Chang crashing to the ground. Sprinting at top speed, Hakan races past him and the remaining firebenders. Scrambling to his feet, Chang stands and turns to Faye.
Take him down, Faye.
Slowly, Faye grabs her bow and reaches for an arrow. She stops herself and watches Hakan disappear out of view into the trees.
What? What are you doing? Are you disobeying a direct order from your commanding officer? A Yuyan archer like yourself could have easily finished him off.
Your order was to detain him, not to kill him.
He is a traitor that needs to be dealt with accordingly. With the Khan gone, I am now the captain of the squadron.
Chang takes a step towards Faye.
I need to know where your allegiance lies.
Faye stares back at him, intent eyes.
With my captain.
Very well.
He turns back to the rest of the soldiers.
Alright, troops, we have two targets now. The Lightning Shadow and the Rogue Traitor. Let's move out!
34 AG, Earth Kingdom, Ba Sing Se. Once Taki, Raiden, Liana, Michi, and Isla reach the inner stone wall, their earthbender escort signals to the Earth Kingdom guards on the top of the wall to bend it open for them. Slowly, the towering wall opens, and the group walks through to the bustling, vast city of Ba Sing Se.
Wow, this is incredible.
This is everything I've dreamed it would be and more.
Drifting aside, Michi wanders into a nearby store, so Liana quickly picks her up to carry her. The Earth Kingdom guard guides them down a wide street. Taki moves near Raiden.
So, you've been here before, Raiden.
I was here many years ago for a mission.
Oh, I see.
Furrowing her eyebrows, Taki glances down in thought.
Raiden, about you and Hakan. Your past, I mean.
Taki almost continues speaking but stops herself and shakes her head slightly. She glances over at him with a small smile.
I just, hope that someday you'll trust me enough to tell me your story, to break down your walls and finally open up.
Raiden looks down and pauses briefly before answering in a soft voice.
My walls might never come down.
Before Taki can respond, the Earth Kingdom soldier stops in front of a small house.
I'll make arrangements for all of you to stay here in this guest house as thanks for helping in our battle earlier against the Fire Nation.
That's great, thank you.
Yeah, free housing! It looks so fancy.
The Earth Kingdom guard gives a respectful bow and then moves towards a small kiosk next to the house.
We should begin the search for our target.
Right.
Taki places a hand on Isla's neck.
Isla, why don't you rest here for now? You've worked so hard these past few days.
With bright eyes, Isla nudges Taki's side and then goes to lie down in some hay outside the guest house.
The city is enormous, so we should split up to cover more ground.
We're just looking for any sign of your father being here. His name is Tayo, right?
Yes, Tayo. And we know he has a burn scar on his right wrist. I'm not really sure how he got it.
We should begin by checking every forge in the city because we know he came here to work as a blacksmith.
Okay, I just hope I don't get lost in this huge city.
Well, at least you'll have Michi with you. And the people here seem friendly enough to help with directions. Let's all meet back here at sundown.
With a curt nod, Raiden turns and walks away. Liana gives a smile to Taki and then ventures down the street with Michi in her arms. With a quiet inhale, Taki makes her way down a side street, full of bustling shops and people. 34 AG, Earth Kingdom. Still running through the thin, spread-out forest, Khan finally slows to a stop near a quiet stream. Shakily, he falls to his knees and stares down at his panicked reflection with wide eyes. He swallows slowly as his heart continues to beat wildly in his chest.
What have I done?
Hearing sudden footsteps behind him, Khan quickly stands, turns, and raises his hand in a ready position to attack. He finds Faye, standing a few feet away with a grim expression. Khan lowers his arms.
Faye, I thought... What are you doing here?
We've split up to search for you.
Of course you'd be the one to find me.
This area isn't safe, Captain.
I'm not your captain.
Nevertheless, I remain loyal to you, sir. Please, allow me to accompany
No,
you.
Faye. I don't want to drag you down with me. I need to sort things out on my own. It'd be best if you return to the town.
If that is your wish, I shall go. But I will do my utmost to keep them off your trail.
You've always been my most trusted ally.
Faye gives a low bow and then turns to leave.
I'll lead them away from here. You should move on quickly.
With a small nod, Khan turns and runs in the opposite direction as Faye. As she breaks into a light sprint away from him, Faye's eyes drift down slowly.
Anything for my captain.
34 AG, Earth Kingdom, Ba Sing Se. Hours later into the day, Taki continues walking down the packed streets of the Earth Kingdom capital. Eventually, she comes to a small forge with a woman, Gia, arranging some armor on a stand. A boy, Hisao, who seems to be slightly younger than Taki, sets up some small weapons and tools.
Excuse me, I was wondering if I could ask you something?
Yeah, and what's that?
Well, I'm looking for my father, and I'm pretty sure he came to Ba Sing Se years ago to work as a blacksmith.
Honey, do you know how many blacksmiths there are in this city?
Right, but he has dark hair and a burn scar on his right wrist.
Wide-eyed, Gia suddenly stops moving. Slowly, she turns to Taki with focused eyes.
Did you just say a burn scar on his wrist?
Yes.
Tayo.
You knew my father.
Yes, I did.
Gia's breath slows as her mind flashes back to a memory from years past. 24 AG, Earth Kingdom, Ba Sing Se. Gia works at the forge as a 5-year-old Hisao runs by carrying a heavy piece of armor.
Hisao, put that armor down right now. It's much too heavy for you.
With a somewhat pouty face, Hisao sets down the armor just as Tayo walks up to him with a smile. Blinking in surprise, Hisao stares up at him and slowly returns his smile. Then Hisao rushes over to his mother.
Mama, look, a man with a red arm! It's just a scar.
Gia wipes her soot-covered hands on her apron and takes a step towards Tayo.
I'm sorry about that. Hisao tends to speak his mind.
No harm done. I see you have quite the forge here.
Yes, it took my husband and I many years to afford it.
Well, you certainly have some quality work here. You and your husband should be proud.
Actually, now it's just Hisao and me. My husband died in a battle a few years back.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm sure it can't be easy raising a child and running a business on your own.
Oh, you could say that.
As it turns out, that's actually why I'm here. I have several years of experience working as a blacksmith. I've come to Ba Sing Se to continue my work making armor and weapons to help stop this war. Just looking for the right forge to take me on.
A smile appears on Gia's face.
That's very admirable. As you've clearly noticed, I could certainly use the help here. I'm afraid the pay wouldn't be very high, at least for now. But maybe together we can increase the profits.
I would be honored to work with you and your son.
Tayo smiles down at Hisao again.
Excellent. Well, I suppose we should probably know each other's names if we're to work together. I'm Gia, and this is Hisao.
Hi!
It's good to meet you both. My name is Tayo.
34 AG, Earth Kingdom, Ba Sing Se. Taki stares back at Gia with hopeful eyes.
How long ago was my father here?
With a grim expression, Gia faces to the side.
He worked with me for about 5 years, and then left.
Oh, do you know where he was headed after?
Gia glances back over at Taki with narrowed eyes and a somewhat forced grin.
Why don't you come inside for some tea so we can talk about your father?
Sure, thank you.
Gia.
Right, Gia.
As Gia leads Taki to the small apartment connected to the forge, she glances over at her son.
Go ahead and finish up without me, Hisao.
You got it, Mom.
Gia shuts the door of the apartment behind Taki and leads her over to a table and a small kitchenette in the corner of the apartment. Taki sits while Gia brews some tea, facing away from Taki.
So, you must have gotten to know my father pretty well if you worked together for so many years.
Yes, I knew him quite well.
And did he and Hisao get along?
Very much so. Hisao admired Tayo in so many ways.
Gia brings the kettle and the cup over to the table and pours Taki a fair amount of tea.
There you are.
Thanks.
Taki takes a few sips of her tea as Gia sits across from her and studies her intently.
You seem like a strong girl. You must be a bender, just like your father.
Becoming lightheaded, Taki sets her cup down.
Yeah, I'm a bender.
Feeling her vision start to fade, Taki braces her arm against the table.
What's in that tea?
Slowly, Gia stands as Taki suddenly falls from her chair to the floor. She glances up at Gia with blackening vision. Gia continues to glare down at her until Taki nods off into unconsciousness.
Just like your father.
On the other side of town, Liana sits on the steps of their guest house holding a sleeping Michi in her arms. The sun disappears beneath the horizon as Ryden walks out.
Ah, there you are. I figured you'd be the last one back, but it looks like Taki's got you beat.
She's not back yet.
Nope, haven't seen her. Which is strange for Taki. It's not really like her to be late.
Ryden continues scanning the streets with narrowed eyes. He grips the staff tighter and starts moving away.
I'm going to look for her. Stay here in case she comes back.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Swiftly, Ryden makes his way through the vast streets of the city, searching all around for any sign of Taki. Across town, in the small basement of Gia's apartment, Taki has been chained up to the far wall with her arms out and hands covered in metal. Her head limps to the side as she remains unconscious.
Thank you for listening to A Tale of the Sun and Moon by Megan Sly. This has been Episode 10, Walls and Secrets, Part 1. Voice talents included Michaela Case as the narrator, Sharia Bunce as Taki, Joshua Malley as Tayo, Alec Leonard as Hakan, Dawson Elke as Ryden, Megan Sly as Faye, Mitch Geiken as Chang and Hisao, and Felicia Nicole as Leanna and Gia.